Some people think it's a lot of bunk, others swear by it. Whether you believe in tarot cards or not, one thing is for certain, this ancient form of fortune telling is enjoying a new renaissance. At the Walper Hotel in downtown Kitchener, you can get your fortune told and have some afternoon tea.
Motherhood, actually, she represents.
My name is Kathleen Meadows, and I've been reading the tarot now for 20 years. I was introduced to the tarot actually 30 years ago. My interest in it is in symbology and metaphor, and I have a strong background in Carl Jung and dreams and symbols, and the tarot is very rich in symbolism and history. This card tells us where you are in the present time. This is the King of Coins. We're going to be doing a reading for a client today who has a specific question on a matter that is concerning her.
My name is Janice Bachmaster, and I am from Kitchener-Waterloo. I came to see Kathleen today to find out a little bit about the future for me with regard to my career, actually.
Typically, people come for tarot readings because their life is in a state of transition, and they're really curious to know where it's going. So a tarot reading gives a person another perspective, another way to look at their life and look at their decisions and see whether this really feels like the right direction for them to be going in. That although your career is doing a shift, it's not a complete change from what you've done in the past.
I've had a reading done before with tarot, and actually with Kathleen. It was just a short while ago, and I wasn't necessarily skeptical. I've always been open to this kind of thing, and I wanted her to talk about my love life, that kind of thing. A lot of people are always interested in what that's going to bring or what the future holds for it. And she was amazingly dead on. I hadn't met Kathleen before, and so she didn't have any information about me. She read 6 different cards and surprisingly, nailed where I am currently, and gave me some really great information for the future.
I think most people come to me because they have a real spiritual concern. The tarot cards are a very spiritual experience. And I think most people are very curious to know whether they're on the right path, and in terms of whether this is their life purpose and if this fits with their destiny. And I think people also come to me because they're troubled about things that have happened to them in life, and they want some idea, I suppose, that their life will get better and how it will do that. And here we see the Empress. The Empress is in the major arcana, which tells us that your past experience was wonderful, in fact, for you. The popularity of tarot has increased exponentially. When I started reading 30 years ago, there were 2 decks on the market and only one place in Toronto to buy them. That was in the mid-70s. Today there are over 300 decks in print and more being published every month that are coming from a lot of different backgrounds and perspectives and cultures. As well, I read the tarot in places like the Royal York Hotel and Crystal's Tea Room, and here again at the Walper, and I teach it at Victoria School Centre. So we're seeing the tarot move into very established and reputable establishments. So I think that alone also speaks to not only its increasing popularity, but a recognition and respect for the process.
I was at an event shortly after Kathleen read for me last week, and I mentioned that I'd had the tarot read, and I had friends come over who just overheard and were curious to find out where did you go, who read them. I've been trying to find somebody to read my cards, so I was really surprised. It does seem to be something that is is becoming more popular for whatever reason.
For someone of fundamental Christian faith who objects to the tarot, I would point out too that many early tarotists were also Christians, and much of the interpretation, this sort of classic divinatory interpretation of the tarot, is rooted in Christianity. So for those who really object to the tarot, I would suggest that they probably don't know the tarot well. And were they to study it in more depth, would probably be surprised at the connections with many faiths that are demonstrated in the tarot.
I like to think of them more as fun. It's a form of entertainment, and if they tend to be close to where I'm at, or I feel like they're giving me some kind of information, often you do sort of take that in and you think about it. I can't say that I've ever acted on things that have happened in cards or other readings I've had done, but it does give you food for thought.
Oh, wow. At the end of a reading, often people then enjoy a tray of sandwiches and lovely desserts and tea and continue on with their conversation.
Kathleen does her readings on Sunday afternoons or by appointment at the Terrace Cafe. It'll cost you $25. And you can get more information by visiting this website, www.tarotbykathleen.com.